Hey there, everybody. Welcome back with the Plat. Purplatypus is the name. Welcome to another Dragon Quest Tact video. Today, we are doing the ESTARK very hard in under 4 turns. Now, again, you are used to me making guides, probably. This is not as much a guide as it is a show and tell of how I did it. And hopefully you can pick up some pointers along the way while we go through it. In the fight. Here's the team I used on screen right here. These are the exact units in loadout and leadership ability. I was thinking about changing the leadership ability. If you do have my exact team and use this exact strategy, I do think there's a chance that Sorrow or Lionheart are better overall. It's a little weird. The fight is kind of, there's, because of damage thresholds where he'll do things randomly. Not randomly, but like at a certain point, right? Like if you get his HP to a low enough point, he'll like summon minions or he'll blah, 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 blah. Point is, if you do a little bit too much damage too early, the minions will spawn at a time I don't like it. And so I found Squidzilla to be the leadership ability to be a good middle ground of increasing everyone's damage while also, increasing most people's damage while also, not doing it too much. But there's a chance that Lionheart minus 20% defense or the minus 25% bang is just better. And honestly, Squidzilla is kind of the MVP of this fight. No joke. There is going to be a few failed attempts here. We're going to go to my win attempt and we're going to zoom back here. This is a pre-recorded video because it's a difficult fight. Abandon the battle. So you can see, actually, I was thinking about stopping it and be like, all right. I need to change the leadership ability to do a little bit more damage, because I got right to the end like several times and I couldn't quite get it. Anyway, this is the good attempt here. So I like this U. ESTARK is going to move right here. Abandon battle. No, don't do that. Never give up. Never surrender. So yeah, he's going to move right here and he can't attack anybody. His one weakness is that he can't attack anything that's not adjacent. Kind of. He has like a dark, I guess, you know what? That's not true. But he basically always attacks things that are adjacent. And now they have big range. Like if he attacks this, he has something that'll hit 2 to the left, 2 to the right. But he'll need to target something to trigger that. He can't just target this square and do it. Or if he can, he doesn't. Anyway, so basically what we're doing here is this character is pretty much here just to oomph. Oomph is very good. Now, if you have Juliante, there's a good chance Juliante would be better on this fight, getting everyone. So because one, Squidzilla passively increases his own attack very frequently, and Lionheart actually starts with increased attack. It would actually cause these buffs to not expire, as quickly. So it would make them stronger by a stage and also extend them. So if you have Juliante, I think she could be a very good fit for this fight. And she's also a bang user, isn't she? So she could probably just replace Lionheart in this combination as well. I don't know. I like the defense decrease, but just kind of putting that out there. I know a lot of people have Juliante. We're oomphing Sorrow. I've went through a lot of different trial and error, oomphing on turn 1. The issue is if you oomph this guy on turn 1 and he gets his attack boost, or if you oomph anyone besides Lionheart on turn 1, and this guy gets his attack boost, he ends up summoning minions earlier than I want him to. But I don't even remember if that ends up being a big enough deal, but oomphing Sorrow is just pretty good, obviously, because he's pretty much our strongest unit. But surprisingly, like this fight for my strategy would not be doable in 4 turns without Sorrow. But Squidzilla is also the best unit in my entire box for this fight, I think. I mean, I am using all S units here, but I do think that for my box, this might be the best team for this fight as well. Slideheart's mostly here for the defense down. You could probably run something that does a guarantee, not a guarantee, but does a 2-stage defense down instead. But Slideheart does do good damage as well. So I'm moving Sorrow up here. So one of the big strategies here is keeping Sorrow alive because he actually dies in 2 attacks and it's very frequent. We're basically going to so normally he likes targeting Sorrow on my team, but his second priority, Sorrow's actually his second priority. If we fail to defend Bianca here, he will actually attack Bianca. And so we are going to be kind of sacrificing Bianca to the great ESTARK. And Bianca's actually very tanky as well, so she can actually take a hit. Nimzo is surprisingly good here. He does more damage than Lionheart. He's doing 800 damage with 0 awaken. He is at +10 with his weapon equipped, so it's not like unbelievable damage, but like I think it's 800 damage here, right? Let's just take a quick peek. And again, this is with 0 awakenings. If he had one more awakening, he'd be so much good. So look, this is 808 damage, right? Without brilliance. So why do I have this here? It's not because Frizz is particularly good. Like, there might be a better unit here, but he has, ESTARK has a spell barrier, right? For like several turns. And so you can't use Zoma for 3 turns, and it's hard to kill him by turn 4 with one less character. So I found this guy to be the best caster unit, because he bypasses the shield by using breath, and 808 damage is still not bad at all. And he actually has a very clutch secondary ability to lower the attack, and because he goes last, you'll see after Bianca and Slineheart die, every time he gets hit, his attack goes up, right? So he's constantly at stage 3 attack. But I am going to lose Bianca and Slineheart, and so now then ESTARK starts going first and this unit goes last, so I can lower his attack by 2 stages before he gets a chance to attack, and that really will help us tank it through the end here. But yeah, every time he attacks, he does it. So this is what's important. So typically I want to avoid this on this attack. If I do slightly less damage, he won't summon until Slineheart attacks first. And then if he summons them on Slineheart's attack, they miss this whole entire stage here, right? They would not have a turn right now because they would have entered, because they already entered last turn. Technically they do get one, but if we didn't get it to summon until here, these wouldn't summon until this turn, and so they want to get a turn until the very end of the next turn. So that would be very, very good. However, my good attempt here, I just said fuck it. I stopped resetting if we got him to summon minions, because it just didn't feel worth it. And the RNG honestly is not that big of a deal difference. These guys do have a chance to stun units, and you do have to resist the stun. So that's going to be, you know, coin flip or whatever the odds are. I don't know, but just be aware of that. This is Dragon Quest 6 music, by the way. I probably should have done Dragon Quest 5, but you know what? I'm digging this so far. I didn't record sound on this because I was watching YouTube videos while I attempted the fight. And yeah, so Slineheart's here just to do some damage. He does less damage than everyone on the team besides Bianca, who's mostly there to buff. Now she does have Zenith Strike. Honestly, her attack is just a little bit too low, and his defense is just a little bit too high for it to be good. And I have it at like plus 10. It does like 540% potency, and it's hitting for like 400. She's just not quite past that threshold yet. I think I need another like dupe or 2 on her to really get her attack past that. But also she's giving the Sorrow only does 500 damage. The only reason he's doing more is because he has the oomph. So if she oomphed herself before she Zenith Strike, it might be good. But then she's kind of spending her turns to make 1 attack stronger, while doing this will make like 2 or 3 attacks stronger, or 6 attacks stronger, you know, by buffing these 2. So buffing herself I don't think is the ideal strat. But there might be some times where it is really, really good. I didn't really explore that path because I knew I had a strategy that worked already. So we are going to lock this guy in. Again, he likes going for Sorrow, but he will target Bianca first. And so our goal here is, the only reason we're oomphing here, I mean, it does bring him from stage 2 to stage 3, but mostly it's to refresh the duration, because Bianca's going to die and she won't be able to give any more oomphs. She's not going to die right here. It'll be very close, but not quite. And it's, you want to get these buffs up, and you want them to last until he does his Frigid Wave, which gets rid of all the buffs. And again, it's just a little bit more damage. So Sorrow, we moved him up here, so we get the ads here, and he could easily AoE down. This is why sticking this guy here was so important. If he starts moving around, you don't get 2 birds, 1 stone. And so we try really hard to ensure, when I say we, I mean me. I try really hard to ensure that this guy and this guy are like kitty corner from each other, basically, so I can, or in a way where Sorrow can hit them both. And see, Squidzilla just did 1212 damage, and we didn't even buff his attack, right? This is a self buff. He self buffed his own attack, which is very, very, very good. And a 0, just an oomphful out of nowhere. Very good. Squidzilla's got some seriously high potential for 0 stamina fights where the boss is weak against Bang. That is fringe, all right? But he does great damage. He does Sorrow levels of damage on a single target, and he could actually even do more than Sorrow's worth of damage to single target, because this ability is only like +6, not +10. First of all, his Bang Slash, but also the ability to sometimes get a free oomphful saves a turn for your buffer. So you could either go without a buffer potentially, but that would be annoying probably because it doesn't proc that frequently. But it lets you buff another character, so I don't need to spend my turns buffing him on a good RNG roll. Very good. Nimzo, again, he's just doing 808 damage a turn. He does it 3 times throughout the fight. I think he might do it just those twice, but I've done it with the amount of attempts I do. I don't remember exactly. You can see she almost gets there. She almost dies. Not quite. Here I decide, I mean, obviously we're just going to keep attacking here. My goal is here, just keep protecting Sorrow, as best I can. You know, we did get a little crit there. That might make a pretty big difference. I think we still would have cleared without the crit. And it was only one of Slineheart's things. There's a lot of chance to get crits. If you get crits on anything, it'll make up for it. So I could oomph here. I was considering oomphing Squidzilla. Do I do it? Actually, this is a I think I Zenith Strike. Okay, I do Zenith Strike. It's not very good, and I would say this is weaker than getting Squidzilla. But my goal was to get ESTARK to pop his heal before this turn, or sorry, when his turn, basically right now. I'm trying to pop his heal, like, and I'm kind of risking it, because after he pops his heal, he's going to remove, you know, all the buffs anyway, and so the buff would have kind of been a wasted turn. So we did get him to pop his heal. He is going to absolutely come over here and destroy Bianca. Have a good one, Bianca Del Rey. And he is going to do his big ol' attack, and he is going to destroy Slineheart. So that sucks, but, you know, that's kind of, he does a lot of damage to both Bianca and Slineheart in this fight. I do think Slineheart getting in good damage while lowering defense for your other physical users is very good, though. Another reason why Squidzilla might be a better leader is that he doesn't die, right? You get his leadership the whole battle instead of until, you know, when Slineheart dies in like turn 3. So we're doing the same thing here, right? He moved back to hit Slineheart, which isn't that bad, right? Because now we get to hit him. He's already healed, and we get to attack this guy and just straight up kill him. If Sorrow has the +2, he will kill him in one shot, at least in my account. And so this is actually like super clutch right here. One, this, like, again, maybe I should have oomphed him. I think it would have not popped the heal, and it would have been too annoying. But there's a chance that I would have, instead of 800. Oh, but look at this, actually. This is why, okay, he didn't even get it. He just has 800 damage straight up right now. It must be because the defense is down a little bit. Yeah, it looks like he has base level defense right now. And so here I actually decided to go for the Mist because he's at +3 attack, and he might be able to wipe my team because he gets 2 attacks a turn, and he has 5 movement, which is his huge strength. So we bump his thing 2 stages, which this works really well against bosses. Now, it's not 100%, so I still avoid using it until very key moments. I don't want it to be a cornerstone of my strategy, but it is very good. Like, this is exactly why I like Nimzo, right? He's doing 808 damage a turn, which is good damage. If I had to do, every time he would have gotten hit, he would have countered for like another 100, 200 damage, something like that. And on top of that, he now gets to keep everyone alive by making the super god strength character have slightly less super god strength, so he doesn't one-shot things nearly as easily. So this is the Frigid Wave that you got to watch out for. He doesn't when he gets really low. You can do it pre or post healing. I think he needs to be, I don't know, it might be just on turn 4, actually. So Nimzo sacrifices himself. The fact that these guys, so you can, I might even have looked at his HP. It's 715. The reason I use the hit is because he has a single target attack that will do 699 damage to Sorrow if he has that max attack. And Sorrow technically would have survived that, and maybe even with a Frigid Blast into that. I didn't know if for sure he would Frigid Blast, but if he did Frigid Blast into that, it would have lived and had our guy alive for more damage. But I was playing it safe, and I wanted him to purposely target Nimzo to try to kill him to keep these guys at nearly full life. And then we're just going to come down, do some super good damage here. We still do 977 because he lost his big defense ups on turn 3. And now all we have to is not miss Squidzilla here. And look, it even got the attack prep at the very end here. How much damage you do with this attack prep? Is it 12-12? It's probably 12-12. Yep, 12-12. Squidzilla is a champ in this fight, honestly. It's good because a lot of people have him. A lot of people have Sorrow too, but not nearly as many are going to have Squidzilla. Now, I'll admit, again, mine's level 110 with 2 orbs. When did I do that? I did that earlier today when I couldn't beat this fight in 4 turns, and I was like, I just need a unit. I don't have Bianca. As far as other bang users, I couldn't use any spellcasters, right? Like, I wasn't going to use Baramos. I do have Bianca. I don't have Juliante. I don't have Nera, and they're also, I didn't want spell users, so I was like, Squidzilla is the man. And in a fight like this, like, he comes down next to your team. Like, he takes 2 turns, and he moves within 1 space. And it's a one-on-one. I know he summons these ads, but Sorrow in my team comp was already taking care of those as if they weren't there. And so Squidzilla was like, the perfect unit for this. And honestly, I didn't feel bad double orbit him because I know he is going to get his I know he's getting a blooms, like not soon, but in the next 3 to 6 months. He's going to get a bloom system, and he's going to get way better than he is. He's going from 2 to 4 movement and getting a range attack. I think it's 4 movement for 1 turn, but that's still really good even for like arena and stuff. And with a range attack, I think he has an effective range of like 7 or 8 on turn 1, which is really insane. So I think Squidzilla is actually going to be pretty much like an MVP later, but because I knew he's going to be good later, and I know he's good on this fight, I didn't mind investing heavily into my Squidzilla. There's probably more efficient strategies with weaker units, shit like that. Turn 4 is pretty hard. If you're taking turn 4 out of the equation, you could do a lot more strategies in this fight with a lot more defense focus, slow, chipping him down. He does do a lot of damage, but again, you know, with the right resistances, his damage isn't that high. With a high enough defense, his attack isn't like insane. It is high though. But it's the 4 turn thing I think is pretty brutal because you need insane offensive output. You have to kill that shit fast. But anyway, that's going to be for this video, guys. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I will do my best to answer and respond to all the comments. I've been kind of shitty at responding to the comments lately. I'm going to try to double down on that and be better at that. And without further ado, Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching my Tact videos. It means a lot. See you guys around.